people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fingers and say, that's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy.
Okay, we'll start with this, what is fast becoming one of the most popular segments here on the channel, Ring IQ Hate Mail. My previous video about Kathy Duva's recent comments about Virgil Ortiz ducking Bakram Murtazaliev, Sebastian Fundora ducking Bakram Murtazaliev.
Un pendejo.
A Joto who goes by the name Butch Francisco 601 said Virgil ducking, Fundora ducking. Don't name Xander because he's got Puerto Rican immunity.
Why would I name Xander? Kathy Duva didn't offer Xander the fight.
IQ, you are racist and a hater. You pretend to be a fan of Mexicans because you're trying to appeal to the biggest boxing fan base in the world, but we see right through you.
Oh, do you?
Or is it that you're so goddamn stupid you didn't realize I was just reading what Kathy Duva said? What Kathy Duva said about Virgil, what she said about Sebastian. It didn't seem to bother you, though, that she also said that about Erickson Lubin. She accused him of ducking, too.
How come that didn't stick up your crawl? Is it because he's not Mexican, but you are?
Is it that you come to this channel expecting Mexican fighters to get special treatment, and as soon as they don't, you start making baseless accusations?
You know, Kathy's the one that said Virgil and Sebastian ducked. Not me, but for what it's worth, I actually agree with her, because Virgil has a history of ducking fights. He ducked Terrence Crawford at welterweight.
I believe her when she says Virgil ducked, because I've seen it before, and I believe her when she said Sebastian did the same thing. Sebastian, who was all set to duck Terrence Crawford for a Spence fight, that never happened. Remember?
He brought up Xander Zayas. Does he think I'm Puerto Rican? Because I'm not.
Kathy Duva's the one who didn't mention Xander Zayas because Kathy Duva didn't offer Xander the fight, you idiot.
Stupid.
Many such comments left on this channel from Butch Francisco, who seems to think I'm biased, I hate Mexicans, yet he keeps coming here.
Calls me a racist.
You know that being Mexican is not a race, right? That's a nationality. That is an ethnicity, not a race. Another indicator, this guy's a bonehead.
A bozo? You're just trying to do what you see the LDBC do. You're a wannabe.
Twink, like that pussy, John Leguizamo and his Victim Olympics. What people like you do like to do is cultivate outrage by pretending you're the victim of some injustice, all the while what you really want is preferential treatment. And I ain't your mother, I ain't your wife, if you even have one.
Puto.
Or your girlfriend. You don't have it your way around here, you understand that? When a Mexican fighter ducks, I'm gonna call it out. Like when Isaac Cruz quite openly ducked a Shakur Stevenson fight that he was ordered to have by the World Boxing Council. He instead elected to fight a bunch of nobodies, a bunch of no-names on undercards. Instead, he ducked. You would have made more money boxing Shakur. Why would you fight a bunch of nobodies on undercards instead? It's not gonna pay you as much. And I'm supposed to be a bigot for pointing that out? I'm supposed to be a racist, even though being Mexican is not actually a race.
And the reason this idiot can't tell the difference is because he's trying to sound like other people. He's trying to do what he sees other people do.
Win the Victim Olympics. I've been discriminated upon. My people! No!
¿A dónde está mi socorro?
Where's your balls? Where's your dignity? What are you aspiring to be like? Dante's Boxing Nation? Those guys you see over there at the PBC injecting race into everything?
You want to be like them?
Kathy Duva says Virgil Ortiz ducked the Bakram Murtazaliev fight twice, and you want to get mad at me for that?
Why the hell is he fighting Lubin instead of Murtazaliev? Why is Sebastian fighting Keith Thurman instead of unifying titles? Why?
Because they ducked. That's why. You don't like it? You don't want to hear that? Stop coming here.
Culero.
Kathy said the exact same thing about Erickson Lubin, and you didn't get in your tits about it. Is it because he's black and he's not Mexican? Oh, it's okay to say that about him, but not them.
How come it's not racist when Kathy says that about him?
How come you don't get mad about it when Kathy says that about him? Oh, I see. It's okay to be that way with one group of fighters from one denomination, but not yours, right?
No, because then it's racist.
Are you gonna go cry in the car now? Hey, if I'm so bigoted, and I'm so biased against Mexican fighters, why am I picking Canelo to beat Terence Crawford?
Why have I lavished praise on that fighter for years? Oh, I see. You think I'm all of a sudden picking Canelo to win the fight so I can cultivate Mexican boxing fans. Well,
it doesn't help your argument that I've got video after video going back years and years, giving Canelo his just due when the boxing media wouldn't, defending him against unjust criticism.
I mean, if I'm so biased against Mexicans, why do I rate him ahead of Terence Crawford and ahead of a lot of other fighters where most pound-for-pound lists don't?
If I'm so biased, or is it that you think I'm supposed to extend that courtesy to every Mexican fighter, to everybody?
Well, I don't.
Just calling it down the middle, just calling a spade a spade. But like I said, if you don't like that, you don't have to come here, yet you keep doing it. God help me if I ever aspire to have people feel sorry for me like this guy does.
It's not fair.
Why do you wish somebody cared enough about you to hate on you, quote unquote hate on you, like you think other people are getting hated on? You just want to be part of that too. You wish.
You really feel is left out.
We need Canelo to get a stoppage, if not get a get a knockout. I think it'll be great for Mexico, and it'll be great for Razas. I'm a big Crawford fan as well. Like every time he sees me and my brothers and my dad at fights, he comes out of his way, shakes our hand. It's all respect. But I just feel the weight's a little too much, Marcos. I feel going up 2 weight classes, really like 3. And early, I feel Terence will have great success. I mean, maybe he'll get Canelo's head snapped back or, catch Canelo early. Maybe I could see Terence Crawford go southpaw because you see Canelo has had a bit of problems with southpaws. You could see Canelo, I could see him getting frustrated, picking him up like how he does, like when he gets frustrated. But I say 6th, 7th, 8th round on up, I think he'll figure him out. And we need Canelo to get a stoppage, if not get a get a knockout. I think it'll be great for Mexico, and it'll be great for Raza. So I mean, we're looking for a great fight either way. But I got Canelo, coming out with the victory.
Young Fernando Vargas Jr., the son of El Ferros, feels that Canelo will figure this out, that Terence may have some success early on, but Canelo will catch him in the middle. While I have Canelo winning the fight,
that's what got my attention. Will Terence have success early on? Terence is actually a slow starter. It's not uncommon in his fights for him to give away the first 1 or 2, sometimes even the first 3 rounds. It's at around round 4 that he starts picking it up.
After he's felt the wind off his opponent's punches to see what they've got, what they're working with, what they react to. First 2-3 rounds, he's studying a guy.
I've seen every Terence Crawford fight, or almost every fight, and that's what usually happens. I expect that in this upcoming Canelo Alvarez fight.
What usually happens in a Canelo Alvarez fight? Round 6 or 7, those are rounds that Canelo actually takes off. I mean, right around that time, that's when the output slows a bit. I've always interpreted that as Canelo pacing himself and saving something for later.
Put it together now.
Because Terence Crawford doesn't do a whole lot in the opening stanza of a fight, I actually expect Canelo to pick up those rounds off of aggression, off of activity, off of trying to walk Terence Crawford down and making him give up real estate. I expect Canelo to win the early rounds.
And Terence Crawford to win the mid-rounds, because that's usually when Canelo takes his foot off the gas, and that's usually when Terence picks it up.
Anything after round 4, approaching the midway point, is usually when Terence Crawford starts to pour it on and starts coming on strong. Coincidentally, that's when Canelo takes his foot off the gas. So I feel like if Terence is going to win rounds in this thing, it'll be at or around the middle.
There is room for dramatic things to happen at or around the midway point.
At least based on what we've seen. Based on what we've seen so far, if history is any indicator of things to come, then going into the later rounds, say after round 8 or around round 9. Anywhere at or around there is when I expect that Canelo Alvarez might get him, might knock him out. At or around round 9. Because you have to remember, Terence Crawford has not fought in a year. We have no idea what that may have done to his timing and his sharpness on the night of the fight, and he will be a lot heavier than he usually is in a fight, carrying that much weight, at the same time having to deal with Canelo, who's trying to walk you down.
He could get tired.
Canelo is used to fighting at 168 and rehydrating the night of the fight. This is all new for Terence Crawford. Who's to say that the pace of the match in tandem with the added weight doesn't make him tired.
And whatever Canelo's punches take out of him, because some punches are going to get in. If any of Canelo's output lands on Terence, it could very well take a lot out of him. More than your average 168-pounder.
Because Terence is not a 168-pounder. He is very much new to this weight, in his late 30s, having not fought in a year, and I can't stress that enough. A lot of those are red flags in most other fights. When you hear that a guy hasn't fought in a while and he's getting
up there in age.
Terence Crawford is not that fighter that walks through the water without getting wet. I've seen the very best versions of Terence Crawford, and even the best Crawford I've ever seen gets hit from time to time, gets touched. Am I to believe he's going to go 36 minutes with Canelo and nothing's going to get in?
Yeah, I don't think so.
A lot is being made of Terence Crawford's boxing acumen, and not enough is being made of Canelo's. That Canelo's actually pretty slick, pretty defensively sound in his own right.
Remember the Bivol fight that he lost? Down on the cards, completely exhausted, losing, but he's still rolling, catching, countering, slipping. He's still hanging tough.
And that was against a naturally bigger man in Dmitry Bivol, a naturally bigger, younger man, where Terence is none of those things.
I don't know what he's got up his sleeve, and I don't really know what the plan is, but if history is any indicator of things to come, and that is what I'm going off of, I've got Canelo.
Fernando Vargas Jr. says that Canelo needs a knockout, i.e., he needs to end this in dramatic fashion. I agree with him. I've said that myself.
Be very bad optics if he doesn't, with how much he has working for him and how much Terence has working against him. If Terence can go the distance, get a draw.
Goes without saying that Canelo not only needs to win, but he needs to win in good fashion. He absolutely does.
I think he can, though, because Terence Crawford is not a scared fighter or an overly defensive fighter. He's the kind of fighter, you touch him, he wants his lick back, and he wants it back in a jiffy. Doing that with Canelo, just that kind of temperament, leaves you open to be countered, leaves you open to be caught, to be stopped.
A Terence Crawford win would require him to defy logic, and me being a logical person, I can't bank on that.
No, I don't trust it.
And so many assumptions that I've heard in the build-up, that Terence is the better boxer with the higher IQ. I don't know about that. I've heard people say that he's faster than Canelo, and I don't know about that either. Not at 37 years old, having not fought in a year, and weighing in heavier than you've ever weighed at a new weight.
Whereas, when I look over at Canelo and his more recent fights, the counters still come out pretty quick, pretty fast.
I hear people saying that Terence is faster, and I don't know about that.
These presuppositions, even if Terence Crawford carries any power up to the super middleweight division, he still couldn't stop Israel Madrimov. So that's not encouraging ahead of a Canelo Alvarez fight. That tells me won't stop him either.
It would defy logic if he did, and I can't bank on that. I can't. I've never bet against Terence before, but this time, these are extraordinary circumstances. This is an extraordinary opponent.
The only kind of opponent that I think can beat Terence Crawford.
In men's heavyweight news, Alexander Usyk's dancing video prompts the WBO to order an updated medical exam. Following the emergence this week of a social media video showing undisputed heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk dancing and playing soccer, the WBO on Friday ordered him to submit an updated medical prognosis. Usyk previously requested a delay to negotiations with mandatory challenger Joseph Parker over back issues. The WBO wants the Usyk re-examination to be performed by Monday. In a letter reviewed by Boxing Scene, WBO Championships Committee Chairman Luis Batista Salas wrote to Usyk attorney John Hauerner that the medical update must be detailed and thorough and must certify to the WBO Mr. Usyk's present medical condition, prognosis, and estimated recovery timeline, and any other supporting medical evidence deemed relevant. The committee cannot allow further delay or uncertainty without satisfactory clarification. Failure to comply with this request will leave the committee with no alternative but to take appropriate action in accordance with the rules and regulations of the WBO. In a video on Instagram 2 days ago, Usyk is shown dancing, hopping, waving his arms, and spinning as the singer performs, with DAZN's account writing, "A career after boxing beckons" for undisputed champion Alexander Usyk, followed by a disco ball emoji. Usyk, 24-0 with 15 KOs, was ordered on July 24th to start negotiations with mandatory challenger and former champion Joseph Parker, 36-3, with 24 knockouts, with 30 days to reach terms. Usyk on August 7th. Reported undergoing medical examinations due to prior injuries. In that communication, Usyk's team noted the 38-year-old world champion from Ukraine had made 3 rugged title defenses, including the 2024 Fight of the Year versus Tyson Fury since May of last year, while Usyk has also been affected by the ongoing war between his country and Russia. On August 9th, the WBO received what was described as certified medical reports on Usyk from Spain, revealing back injuries that required 1 month without physical activity and 1 month of therapy until the symptoms were in complete regression. Usyk's team requested a 90-day suspension of negotiation time, which the WBO was poised to honor, according to an individual familiar with the situation but unauthorized to speak publicly on the matter. Usyk's prior medical report recommended suspension from sports activities, rest, and physiotherapy for pain relief and recovery, according to the WBO letter. Usyk's dancing and soccer playing caught the attention of Parker's team. An individual close to the situation surmised, from the optics standpoint, what the hell is this? The committee awaits the new exam. These actions place the Championships Committee in a difficult place, as the arguments raised in the petition, supported by the supplied medical documents, can now be questioned in light of these new developments. Salas wrote to Horinorer. The visuals appear to contradict the medical recommendations and the representations made by Team Usyk requesting suspension of the negotiation period for the mandatory bout. In the meantime, Parker has moved towards taking a voluntary fight before the end of the year with English heavyweight Fabio Vordley, 19-0 with 1 draw and 18 knockouts, considered the frontrunner to land that bout.
So is Usyk faking an injury? Is he afraid of Joseph Parker? Is he ducking Joseph Parker? I don't think so. I mean, if they fight, I've got Usyk winning that fight comfortably. But if there's any reason to believe that Usyk and his team may have exaggerated about his injuries, it might have been to get some extra time off. So soon after beating Daniel Dubois for the second time and becoming undisputed champion for the second time, the WBO immediately bogged him down with a mandatory. Just came off of the Dubois fight to have to go right back into another set of negotiations and another training camp.
That might be what this is. That if you don't believe Usyk is injured, and the WBO doesn't,
that might be why. He wanted a bit more downtime, and he wanted to do that Parker fight, if he is going to do it, on his own time, and not theirs, on his schedule.
Personally, I would like to see him retire now, bow out now, go out on a high and go out on your own terms, because so few successful boxers actually get to do that. Usually, they wear out their welcome. Usyk has a unique opportunity.
Just take it. There's nothing left to do, nothing left to prove. Just retire.